Today we're going to be trying to fix a headache that clients have been telling me about for as long as I can remember in my career, probably about 15 years or more. And what we're going to do is fix issues with getting third-party logos to align nicely if we have a logo reel, carousel, or grid on our website. For example, it could be relation to partner logos, charities your organization works with, brands that you want to represent on your website, etc. So I've tried to recreate as realistic an environment as possible. And so we can see 4 different logos here that we can't get any sort of alignment or neatening up to. So if I jump to one of our Squarespace templates, of course available on the pixelhaze.store, we can see here we've got a list here which uses photos. And so we could put our logos on, say, for example, a silver background, but the logos themselves are on a white background. So we have those nice, neat white discs cutting into the background. So that's one thing we could look at creating them for. Another option here with lots of spacing around them. And then a third option in these cards, again, using another list option on Squarespace. We can see then the logos on here. So what we could also do is go one step further. This Smart Solution logo, we could make it bigger proportionately so it goes nearer to the edges of the square-shaped frame to make it balance a little bit more with the others. Another option is we could align these logos to the bottom or the top. In this case, I've chose to align them all to the center of the image. So let's see how we can do that. We'll jump back to Canva. First of all, I've created a logo file type in Canva, so from a logo template, and then it'll just create them 500 by 500 pixels and square. I'm going for square. You don't have to, but what I would recommend before choosing your canvas size is have a look at the logos that you have and see what, and also decide what you want to do with them. If you want to put them in circles, you'll need to start with perfectly square canvases. Now, we can't do this effect in Squarespace directly, because if we use the crop tool, we can't add to the canvas, we can only take away. Whilst with Canva, we can create custom canvases and then move our images around on there. We can also then reduce the image proportionately to the canvas, meaning we have more space around it. So this is why it's often a frustration where clients will go into a website builder image editor, and they're very good, but none of them have this option to create canvases. What I've done here, these are all Canva templates, but I've downloaded and re-uploaded some of these as flat files just to give you a realistic effect of how they're going to look. What do I mean by that? We can't break this particular logo up into multiple layers. It's one flat PNG file that I've re-uploaded and added in. So our first step is, let's try and fix this one. We want them all on a white background in this instance. Without changing the brand too much, how do we achieve that? Click on Edit Image, and the one option is the Background Remover tool. Now this is only for pro users, so for those who pay for Canva, so that effect may not do the job for you, but we're going to use it for us in this instance. Now I'm expecting it not to be perfect. Yeah, we can see it's a little bit fuzzy, but these logos aren't actually going to be this size when we add them in to our website. I think a more realistic size will be somewhere around there. So I think we'll get away with that on that particular instance. Of course, the best solution is to contact your third parties and ask for a brand toolkit or versions of the logo on a transparent background, or even if you just go a little step further and say, we're looking for square logos on a white background, do you have any? And that would be much easier than doing this, but we don't always have the luxury of that degree of flexibility. So here's another really good example. This one, when I've uploaded it, is not a very high resolution for starters, but we're going to need to bring it up a little bit. If I try and bring it to the entire page, we're going to see probably too much fuzziness on the logo. Because you can't add more pixels in. You can only, it's much easier when we're shrinking logos down, when we're subtracting pixels. So Before I go any further, I'm just going to move it to align it. So we saw the purple crosshairs there just to make sure that this logo is centered. But actually, we can also see it's not centered on the original artwork. So that's what we're going to do, is just get it by cropping left and right, get it centered. At this stage, I'm probably going to enlarge it a little bit more. And I'm going to bring it down top of bottom. Don't really need to do this, but hey, I just like things being neat. So I'm going to duplicate that page, because what we want to do is to create an effect to remove this black background. We also need to change this text from white to black or to a different color. And we want to retain the green color on this part of the brand. So we're actually running through quite a few different processes to get this effect. But it shouldn't take long. So I click on the image once, then click on Edit Image. I could choose the background remover effect, but if we have a look, it's not going to work well because of this being white text and also this being really finicky here. So that looks pretty awful. So we're going to undo that. And instead, we're going to use the duotone effect. Now, this is a really nice little trick, and I think this is available on the free plan for Canva as well. So have fun. It doesn't matter which color option you select. So this time, but because we're going to change these colors. So the shadows, I'm actually going to take it from a darker color to counterintuitively go for a white. You can see where I'm going with this. Then black text for the top section. So we're halfway there. We could even leave it at that if you were happy with it, but obviously we want to try, if we can, to get that green color across. So I could use the eyedropper tool to select the color. You can see I've already done this. So I can just take that hexadecimal color and copy it. Now, this eyedropper tool is a free Chrome extension. If you've been following any of our other courses, you will know this name crops up quite a lot. So this Colorzilla, and it's available on Chrome, and I believe on Mozilla Firefox as well. Okay. So now we go through the same steps. The difference here now, instead of using the black color, we'll use the green instead. So it doesn't matter which colors we choose. Click on it once, click on another time to get the settings. Change the shadows to white, highlights, and instead of selecting a pre-existing color, we can then use this option to add in our own color. Okay, it's a little bit faded and kind of washed out, but we can't do much more than this. It's just one of those circumstances where it's a case of make do and mend as much as we can. So I'm copying that and just pasting it above. Now, it hasn't perfectly aligned, but we don't need to panic. What we can do, I think that is actually aligned there because the other one was centered, but what we can do is instead is reduce the transparency and see if it's perfectly aligned. If not, then we can manually adjust it. But we can see here now that this is perfectly aligned over the image below. So what we can simply do is drag from the right handle here and bring it back across, and see this nice little effect there as we bring that green color back to the icon, and we can do the same with the black. What we can do now is select all of those layers and group them. Okay, we now have a logo in the color scheme that will work with our site. Because of the size of this one, we may just want to just bump this size up again a little bit more. Now we've grouped them, we can just grab the handle anywhere, and then we can just realign it to the center. Probably a little too large, somewhere in between the two. There we go. That's centrally aligned with roughly the same space left and right. We could just go and get it exactly right, but I think that's close enough for us for now. I can delete this layer because we don't need it anymore, and we can proceed then to fix our final two logos. So this one here, we got the issue where it's just too tight to the ends either side. So what would happen in a circle is it'll look really messy going right to the edge of the circle, but also it'll crop it. Probably the tip of that Y there will be cut off in the circular shape. So I'm just going to bring this down we wanted to go as wide as we can get away with, because proportionately it's going to look smaller than some of the other examples, especially this one. So we might just bring it down a tiny bit more, but we'll try that, and if we can get away with that, that's what we'll go for. Our final option is this logo here, and we're going to need to go smaller because proportionately it's going to look enormous compared to the others. So already we can see that there's a lot more space here than on this one, but I think we can go another step further again, probably down to around that size. I'm adjusting it by eye, but you can use trial and error to get to a point where you're happy with it. So there we go. We've now got some quite balanced ratios on this logo, this one here a little bit. Then we've got these long elongated logos as well, because if they haven't provided you with an option with the emblem above the text, it's not really our job as a third party to redesign the layout of the logo for them. So we have to make do with what we're given. And then we've got a final 1-to-1 ratio logo in this final circular one. Another reason why we've reduced it in and made sure it's centrally aligned is because with the circle cut around it, it'll create a nice circle within a circle effect as well. Whilst if this encompasses the entire circle, that gives us more headaches. There are some more advanced options you can do. For example, we could put all of these logos inside circles inside coloured block. So we could create that effect ourselves, but we're starting to get more complicated than this maybe we need to for most instances. So I'm going to save it here. Well, sorry, it's auto-saved, so I'm just going to download it, and I can download it as PNGs. I can now decide the size that I'm going to download it, but 500 by 500 pixels is plenty large enough for what we need. I'm not going to select transparent background, and I'm not going to compress the files because they're PNGs and they're flat graphics. So that means that the file size is going to be relatively low for these anyway. I could download them individually as PNG files, or if I select all pages, it will download them all as a zip file, and then I could just extract them as a zip. As we can see now, our zip file's there, where we can open it up and have a look then at our different files that we've got available. Okay, so if you're looking to put in custom logos into your website, this is step 1 complete. Canva, many designers may turn their nose up to Canva because it's not as powerful or as sophisticated as, say, Adobe Photoshop. However, what I find is Canva is much quicker for this type of editing, unless this example is probably one where I'd be a little bit quicker in Photoshop. But as for the others, they're really quick, and it's a really effective way of getting your logo sets nice and neat and getting your ducks in a row. Cheers.